Hi everyone, we are Tech. We want to tell you we have a new product called the magnetic locking npas. And I want to tell you the big difference between the original npas. That is, it's more stable, and I'll tell you why. In the first beginning, I'll use this GBB to demonstrate it. The GBB is called the Gas Blowback Airsoft Rifle. It was powered by propane and shoots 6mm BB bullet. We remove the upper receiver and lower receiver and cut the bolt carrier inside the nozzle. You can see the npas inside this nozzle, and there are actually three parts inside the nozzle: the cylinder, the disc, and the spring. When you fire the BB bullet, the gas will coming out from the magazine, and it will use to propel the BB bullet. And meanwhile, it will push the whole cylinder moving forward until the cylinder stops the way, so the gas can't moving forward anymore. Instead, they will turn into the other direction and push the whole bolt carrier to the rear. Then the bolt carrier will engage with the disconnector inside the lower receiver, so the gas will be stopped. And then they will cock the weapon, the hammer again, and coming back and ready to fire the next round. The npas were able to change the length, so they can stop the propane earlier, so the FPS will drop. But after many years later, and some customers reply their information, we find out that actually the cylinder will change the location when they fire a lot of rounds. So the FPS will change. We want to solve this problem, so we think a lot, or we use a lot of a way to find out the reason. So the result is we want to solve the problem. We got to change the design inside this nozzle, and also use the different way to use the nozzle head. Which also means if we can make sure the whole internal parts are always in the same location, the FPS will be the same. And as for the front end nozzle, if we can restrict or limit it, the FPS will also be more stable. And now I'll tell you how did the Artec did it. We redesigned the whole nozzle and also the rear part. And there are screws on this rear part, so we exchange the disc setting inside the original npas, but we use the octagonal column. This column will attach and tighten on the rear part, but is still able to rotate. The only thing you can change the position is rotate it. And then we remove the cylinder and insert the disc. This spring will push the whole disc. Make sure the whole disc will always attach on this column. When you rotate the disc, it will rotate the column too, so we're still able to change the FPS. And now we also put a magnet inside. The magnet will actually flip up and attach with this column, so it will stop the column rotate when you fire it. But there's actually a small space right here, so when you still use the insert and tool to rotate the column, the magnet was still able to drop, so you still can able to change the FPS. That's why we call it magnetic locking. Okay, now let's talk about the nozzle head. We redesigned the nozzle head so actually they can separate and removed from the nozzle, and there are three different sizes: the red one, the blue one, and the green one. And the only big difference is the center hole. The center hole will be different size. The red one will be 4mm, the blue one will be 3mm, and the green one will be 2mm. The only purpose when we want to remove it or we can change on our own is because they can restrict the gas, so make your FPS more stable. And also we all will give you these three nozzle head. Try to find out the best setting for you. Whatever you change the npas setting or use the nozzle head. And also, we still can use the dedicated tool to rotate the column. When you rotate in counterclockwise, the whole column will moving forward, so the FPS will drop. According to our test experience, make sure the whole column will not over the center line of this gas hole, so the whole system will be more stable. And after the war game, I suggest you to remove the nozzle head, so that will turn your GBB to a decoration that will be even more safe. So if you like this magnetic locking npas, please order from the Airsoft Taiwan online shop. And that's our demonstration and explain about our new product. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.